Hey guys, it's June 14th, and I want to show you the third thing, right? This is the third video in the series that's explaining where we are right now, especially with the Locksmith project, but also just looking forward generally, all industries. And so I just want to point this out. What do we do in the first two? Just as a quick reminder, I showed you guys what? I showed you first how we can auto-generate unique imagery without end. Then what? Then we talked about how we can create unique typography structures, variations to put onto the different websites. So if we're going to do like 50 locksmith websites, we want them to use different color schemes all throughout. Different H1 colors, H2 colors, paragraph fonts. We want to use different colors for the header and the nav bar and everything else, right? The link colors. And so dealing with color swatches to be able to create matching color schemes for images that we're going to put on a website, and also for the website structure, and using dark tones and mid tones, light tones, whites and off whites, blacks and off blacks, grays and off grays. Being able to do this with just tons of variations for different um, developments, right? This is awesome, and we are so on a roll. So we are going to be able to auto-generate it, all the websites we want, with all the images we want, with all the content we want, automatically. So the question is, if we're auto-generating, can we auto-install? That's the part I want to show you now. This is the next thing we finished, okay, as of today. So if you go into bulk purchase, okay, as you know, we have this method where it's possible to buy a lot of domains and themes, buy them in bulk, okay? And so you'd say, well, how do I get the data I need to paste in here? That's what the sample's for. Now, if you download the sample, I want to show you just how far we got with it now. And this thing, it's hot off the press. We did a test with 75,000 rows in the bulk global variable table for one website. It auto-generates everything. It deals with the htaccess files. It creates the wildcard subdomain. Everything except for actually physically buying the wildcard SSL cert. But everything else is done. So here's how this goes. Choose the server you got to work with. If you've got 1, 2, 3 servers, access to them, you're splitting the project with partners, great. You can install your websites onto multiple servers. What are the server usernames, the server name servers? What's the server password, right? What domains are you buying, right? What are you buying? From, like, literally, what domains are you getting, all right? And which themes from website installer do you want to install onto those websites? That's the whole point. So from all the category products and everything that we have, right? Especially when we're talking about a theme to HTML, anything with SQL, right? But which themes do you want? Well, these things all have numbers like this one. If I go to get details, it's theme 51, right? So that would be like 51. So maybe what I want for that particular one installation for that domain name is theme ID 51. So I'm going to install, in that case, this right here, this HVAC template, right? See a live demo. All right, this would be the idea. I'm installing this HVAC template, okay, with all of its function and power and capabilities and blitz, everything that it works with, onto that domain name, which would really be your domain name, right? Like HVACrus.com, okay? And then whatever your other domain names are, like Chicago HVAC, right? Okay, that's the idea. So then you're going to canvas everything. Can you use the same one over and over again? Absolutely. So different domain name, maybe top HVAC guys, but you could install the same theme, okay, like that. Now, here's what's new also, var sheet ID. We are now uploading Moji files, full-scale var sheets, right, for the global variables control into SQL. So SQL is saving the details from the var sheets, okay? So when you're installing, you can say, I want 1,500 rows for this one. I want, 600 just for the Chicago area maybe. But this one top HVAC, guys, is meant to be nationwide, so I want 75,000. And it will literally create those subdomains, right? And it will do it on installation. What do I mean by create the subdomains? I mean, same thing as with main roofer. Remember main roofer, right? If I go to the sitemap, see all those subdomains? Like I can choose that one and it'll go. And this is what you're seeing. Hidden Hills is the city. Roof repair is the keyword. .mainroofer.com. And then there are a bunch of pages there, right? You guys know all this. And that's the name of the company at Hidden Hills is the idea, right? This is spoofed information. But all these are the pages for that guy. All of this is, whatever we might be having in the way of like pop-up alt text is for that guy, and the phone number on this website, 0283, that one. Okay, everything for this guy. But that's going to be totally different than whatever I feel like doing on some other subdomain, whether it's for the same guy or some different guy, North Caldwell. Point is, we can absolutely run this thing out nationwide for different franchises, different companies, whatever. Well, what if you already got that to happen just by simply installing it? Okay, then what? This is the stuff here: company, street address, phone, SMS, email, forgot password, email, city, state, zip. Okay, and again, it was like Hawaii versus Washington, Honolulu versus Seattle. It's all about franchises, right? Would be the idea. I mean, I put in real information for real franchises if that's what I'm doing, or I'd stick the same information for all of them if it should be the same information. Point is, like, it could be the same company all the way down, based in the same city with the same state with the same. So every subdomain is going to use the same information in that case. So it's for one company, 75,000 subdomains for one company. Okay, no problem, right? We can cover 75,000 keywords or whatever. Now, what is that from? Just to make sure you guys recognize it. This, when you go to buy, you would normally what? Put your information in, okay? And then what? Put in the company information, company name, address, phone SMS, for text messages, email for main contact form, email for forgot password, then select your country, okay, just the US at this time, for the projects, right? Select your state, therefore the county in that state, therefore the city in that county, right? And the reason that we mapped all this out, okay, and you can put in wherever the zip code is, reason we mapped it out is so that when this installs, okay, to your existing or new domain, right, and this would be like your, HVAC best HVACguys.com, right? You can search, make sure the thing's available, and it is. You can add it, okay, and it's added, and you can either buy with a full payment or you can pay on subscriptions, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and it tells you what the monthly would be in that case, right? Literally, right? Now that's for single purchases. This is for bulk purchases. Doesn't happen with a payment plan. This you have to be able to buy outright, but contact me first so that we can negotiate. You can pay us and we can do the installation of everything for you, okay? Point is what? We can install with all of the rows, literally website by website, row by row, will be done in typically 2 minutes. So what if we can, let me make sure I make this clear. I want to make sure you guys understand the value of the locksmith positions now. What if we can generate 800 locksmith websites a day if we want? Because we can generate totally unique images at the rate of 1,800 per hour. So that's easily enough, right? Whipping through, cycling through all these images for the different cities and stuff easily covers it. Okay, 800 websites. And we have typographies. And heck, we already have 100 right here. Okay, 100 full-scale typography sets, right, are already done. Now we just got to finish tweaking in some of the ways that we handle logic for the color scheme mapping, but this would work. Functionally, it's done. It's already done. Okay, so then that's going to be the next step. Pretty soon, okay, there will be another column. And guess what that column is going to be? Typography. And it's going to have an ID. It's going to be like number, 14 or 98 or who knows how many we're going to create anyway, 145. All right. And that's going to be for all those color-based settings throughout the entire thing. All right. So what do you think all of these themes are going to be in a case like this? In this case, we would have our separate system where we're doing the locksmiths. All the themes are for locksmiths. It's just that the themes have different starting points. They have different fonts, different layouts. Certain sections are turned on or off. Sidebars moved here or there. That kind of thing. It's either got boxed layout or full width layout, etc., etc. But then within that structure, we can choose the contents from the var sheet. Which var sheet do we want to use to fill the data? How many rows do we want to be auto-generated? Which typography control, color schemes do we want applied in each case? And what is the name of every single company, street address, phone, etc.? Okay, all of this will be auto-generated. As a matter of fact, this is the amazing part. Here's the math. It took us 1.5 years to create 3,000 websites for the Locksmith originally. Now, at the rate of an average 2 per minute by the time we're done, right? Or I'm sorry, 1 every 2 minutes means 30 an hour times. Let's say we did it for 10 hours a day, it would be 300 a day. 10 days, we could create 3,000 websites in 10 days. If we had the funding for the domain names, the dedicated IP addresses, and the typography or the wildcard SSLs, by the time this project is finished, which it almost is, just probably by Monday, we're done with everything. The var sheets are going to be done because the content's almost done being hammered out. We just have to fit it in to our var sheets, right? So we got typography controls, var sheet controls. We can upload these things. Then we can recreate. I mean, we're talking about keeping up with a dispatch center that plays at a nationwide level with a large budget, okay? And that we're going to be able to compete with them literally just by willing it, okay? All right, so for those of you who still haven't gotten off the bandwagon or off the fence, if you want to get in, you're running out of positions. We started with 50, I forget, I don't know how many we have now, like 19 or 18. I haven't hidden any. I really want you guys to understand. So for those of you who've been nervous, realize the value of this. We can auto-generate until we succeed without having to pay people for new content, pay for more copywriting jobs, pay for more typographies, pay for more images to be found, and remove the original information and crop change, create opacity layers, do some design work, type in verbiage and save the image. All that stuff's out the window, totally out the window. We don't need to do it anymore, okay? So if you're gonna get in, get in. Remember, getTryLeads.com, okay, LPE. So /LPE, and that's where you can sign up to get these positions. When you do, remember your email address. And when you sign up, it will give you a passcode so you can log in. So then go to getTryLeads.com/admin, right? Where you can log in as an LPE owner. Put in your email address, stick in the passcode it gave you, log in. Now, once you're in there, you're going to see probably a blank page. You might think, oh, there are no more positions. Don't do that. Look at the links in the left menu and explore them. There are websites available, okay? Those are the positions. You want to buy any one of them. They're all priced at the same value. They all share 80% of the revenue. For those of you that don't get what's going on, we made websites for locksmiths. They make a lot of money. I met a locksmith in person. These guys are just busy as the blue blazes, like 10 jobs a day. All these guys in the area. So we are going to make the websites. The dispatch center gives us phone numbers for the websites. Calls get recorded. Invoices get generated, filled back in. All of it's transparent. We get to see what's going on. You guys are all going to see what's going on, including visitor traffic to the websites. They're all going to be outfitted with traffic, and you're going to be able to log in and see that. So what's the point? You can follow along with our growth as we go. We made these websites for the company, and now we're making them to keep and then sell the company leads. They're totally fine with that. They reached a point where they didn't see the value in trying to update 7,000 websites anymore because they took our 3,000, made variations, got to 7,000. But then they realized, what happens when you want to go update them? You know how much work that is and how many people you have to pay for that kind of thing, that in the old way. Doing this the new way, we're not selling them this power. This is for us to control. 80% of the ongoing revenue is split across the 50 locksmith positions. That is why you are signing up to gettrialleads.com/LPE and then logging in at gettrialleads.com/admin. Now, we did the math. If we just took, okay, out of 2,000 metro areas, we took 1% of 2,000 metro areas is 20. And if we can get an average, because there's an average of, anyone remember the number? 2,000 divided by 125. All right, times 125 calls a day, locksmith calls a day in the major metro area, the city and the surrounding town area. 125 calls per day. That's guys get locked out of houses, cars, offices, guys getting evicted by landlords. Wife locks the drunk husband out, then the drunk husband has to call locksmith to get let back in later, right? So this goes on constantly. That's why it's such an incredibly viciously competitive market. And why we're really good at it is because we were pushed to an incredibly high standard originally for these guys 3 years ago. And now we get to do it for ourselves. And those websites, a year and a half after not being touched, are still getting a ton of traffic. That's the whole point. So if you do that, if we only get 5% of that total market, that equals 125 calls per day. If each call pays us, our share is like 25 bucks per call, right? Times 125 per calls per day. Okay? This is totally conservative, right? What is that? 25 times 125. 31.25 a day. 7 days a week, right? Okay? Then what's that mean? 80% of that is how much? 2,500. Okay. And that is divided by, divided by 50 locksmith positions equal 50 bucks a day. Okay? 50 bucks a day times 30 days, per month equals, because it is 30 days a month, it's 7 day a week thing. How much is that? 1,500. The locksmith positions are one time 1,000 each. Okay? You can buy as many as you want from what's available. Most have been taken. A lot of them have been taken. There aren't so many left anymore. They're going to go as quick as they're going to go. I think now that people are seeing what's going on better than ever, it's the reason I've been pointing all this out, this whole power explanation, so that you guys see the automation. We're going to be able to literally catch up with an industry and overwhelm it. Our own rate of speed. We can do it. The guy who makes all his money doing the factoring in his basement does it basically this way, but I did it manually. It was almost embarrassing to say, you know how you spent the last, like 9 years building up those 400 websites that you've been making? I can do that now in about 15 hours. I can recreate all that with the information in about 15 hours. Okay? That's why you want to get involved, right? If you get 2 positions, instead of making like 1,500 bucks a month, you'd be making about 3,000 a month. If you got 3 positions, instead of making 1,500 a month, you'd be making like 4,500 a month. Okay, that's ongoing revenue. What are you going to do with the chunk of money? What do you think we're going to do? We're going to go bigger, open up new industries. The very next one's going to be garage door repair. We already got guys who said, as soon as you got this thing set for the locksmiths, let us know. We'll set up likewise on your behalf for garage door repair nationwide. They're also a national dispatcher that can handle those calls 24 hours a day. Okay, so that's what's next. That's going to be the next stream. So absolutely, guys, get in. This is pretty much all we're going to do from now on is create massive projects that we run through dispatch centers, right? Because it's the best way to make our share of the revenue and keep things going, and everybody's happy, no one has a complaint, and we can do it automatically, minimal cost. The whole cost is a setup of the project. After that, it's just domain names, dedicated IP addresses, and wildcard SSLs. That's and just basic pitching towards the servers. That's how crazy this is, and we're virtually there. We're almost there already. Okay. The only thing that doesn't exist yet is that column right there. But that's okay, because we can log into each of the websites we put up and upload the copy of the Excel file for that typography. And that does the exact same job. So it's semi-automatic. Okay. We'll make it automatic here after a bit. So yeah, guys, get in, get rolling, because it's totally worth it. Okay. Totally worth it. All right. I think I've explained enough. I think you get the point. Anytime you're ready, do that. All right. Thank you very much. Take care. I'll let you know with the next update what's going on.